Hi, I'm Carrie. This is Jenny, Pastor Julie, and Beth. And we are members and pastor at Grace Lutheran Church in Adel, Iowa. We attended Grace Institute for Spiritual Formation Session 8 together as a congregational group. I think I can speak for the whole group to say that we all looked forward to going to the quarterly sessions very much as a retreat. And it was just a wonderful time for all of us for a time of spiritual renewal and growth. Personally, I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I had to learn so many contemplative prayer practices that I hadn't ever known before. It really gave me a chance to learn how to listen to God's voice and to hear what He was saying to me. I do want to emphasize that as an introvert or as in my own personality, I don't know that I would have gone to Grace Institute on my own, even with the encouragement of my pastor, except that I knew that these other ladies were going to go with me, and that made me much more comfortable to attend the sessions, and I just felt like that was a real benefit for me.
Well, unlike Carrie, I probably would have attended Grace Institute on my own. Pastor Julie's description of it was intriguing, and it was good timing for me in my personal life to attend something like that. But I'm not sure how much I would have continued to practice on my own what I learned, or if I would have been able to share with others what after we graduated. There was powerful learning at Grace Institute. I especially appreciated the time we had for reflection and the time we had to practice what was taught while we were there. This so enhanced the learning for me. But what was really beneficial for me was the continued meeting with my church family. These three women, and with that meeting, the meetings we have, confidence, I've gained confidence so that I have been able to share faith practices with many others. The four of us have continued to use these practices together. We support and encourage each other to use these practices on our own when we're not together. And because of this group, I've been able to share faith practices with our family here at Grace Lutheran Church. I've shared with members of my community family, and then I've also been able to share faith practices with people I've met on my travels. Not only has my experience with Grace Institute enriched my personal life, but also my journey with Grace Institute has nourished and grown my relationship with God and my church family and my community.
Being a part of the Congregational Transformation Program gave me a chance to introduce prayer practices and different faith practices to my congregation. This is the kind of thing that I would not have been brave enough to do before I went to this institute, but as we learned and grew together, I found that it was easier to do, and it gave me great joy to do it. As we met in between the sessions at Grace Institute, we found that it deepened our relationship. It also deepened our prayer life, and we just grew in our relationship with each other.
Even if we hadn't enjoyed our time at the Grace Institute, we had such a good time in the car rides, both to and from Dubuque, that by itself made this a valuable experience. But that was really nothing compared to what we learned and experienced together. We were able to bring things back, and you heard a couple of my colleagues mention that we introduced prayer practices to our members here at Grace. And that was a whole lot easier for me as a pastor to feel comfortable doing, because it wasn't just me trying to convince the congregation of something new, but I had three other people who knew how to do it, thought it was valuable, knew how to lead it, and were excited about that possibility. And so that really added a lot to the whole congregation's experience of our experience being at Grace Institute. The way the program worked when we were in it is that we had a coach, and we were really blessed by that, because at the end of each Grace Institute weekend, we spent time planning how we were going to take what we learned at this session back to our congregation. And sometimes those were big things, sometimes they were small things. Sometimes they meshed up with things that other people in our congregation were excited about, and it was truly a spirit-filled kind of experience all the way through, and continues to be now. It was a blessing for us. It would be a blessing for you and your congregation too. Thanks.